All right. Well, good morning and happy final exams and almost into first semester. Get you updated about the guys real quick. So, since the last time we talked, we've had 2 home games. Kearney came in on Friday, and good atmosphere for that game. Fun night with girls, guys, everybody playing together, and struggled early, down 3 at half. Came back in the second half and just settled down, made some shots. Luckily, we were able to wear them down a little bit. I think legs for them were a factor in some of their shooting late, which luckily paid dividends for us. The goofy part is we played them, and now we're going to see them again. So at the Jewel tournament, so that game was interesting because I think both teams are kind of feeling each other out, knowing that they're coming back. And then on Tuesday, we had our first conference game of the year. Against Lee Summit. The only other time we'd ever played Lee Summit was in the Elite Eight 3-4 years ago, and at that time, we had a heck of a battle with them. They ended up winning, beating us, going on to the Final Four. So the last time we were across from them, kind of left a sour taste in our mouths. But we played really well, got out to a 25-3 lead at one point, played really well defensively, forced a lot of turnovers by being in the right position defensively. And then shot it really well after. We struggled the first 3:15 of the game, 3:30 of the game. Got a timeout when it was 5-1 just to settle guys down, and we got going. So good win for us. Had 13 guys get in and play and contribute, which is always a good thing for the team. So with that being said, now we're done until we go to William Jewell. So we'll practice, get the guys better, and then we'll come at Jewell against Kearney, get the 2 seed, play against them in a good bracket with Rockhurst as the 1 and Park Hill as the 3, 2 teams that we've already played, and obviously we have a lot of respect for. So lots to look forward to. I'm proud of where we're at, but certainly know there's a lot more work to be done. Turn it over to you guys.
How does the success from 3 the last couple games fuel the games for over the break?
I think it's an important thing about it, because it rewards, or I don't know, kind of underscores the work that's being done every day in practice. You know how hard we're working, trying to get better, trying to be focused, and so when it carries over to the game, then that gives you more buy-in, so that the areas of progress we need to make, it's more likely that we're going to make them. So I've been really pleased with just our disposition. We've got good energy to us, and I'm glad to see it's translating.
Speaking of threes, what kind of impact does it have to have dangerous shooters from beyond the arc like Benny and Jalen have on your squad this year? What kind of impact does that have?
Well, a lot. So just from a court spacing sense, right, it changes the way you can play, because if you don't have to guard outside 20-21 feet, then the court gets shrunk down, and then you're operating and trying to play in less space on a court. So when you can spread people out and play sideline to sideline and kind of 5-6 feet behind the arc in, then that really gives some options and some flexibility. One thing, too, that's probably a little underrated about our guys is the amount of guys that we have that are capable shooters. You see it with Jalen, Benny, CJ, some of the guys that are getting minutes in that starting group. But when you bring Stu off the bench, when Davis comes in, you got guys who not only can shoot it, but you can get them shots in different situations. So we can get them shots through screening actions and plays. You can get them actions through pick and rolls, or in Stu's case, we play him out of pick and pop. So there's different ways to get him shots, which compromises what a team can do defensively and how they can match up with you. So against Lee Summit, we saw a matchup that we liked early, and we went a little smaller with Stu, and so then Stu got into a couple pick and pop situations, and what ended up happening was he ended up being the assist guy, or what I call the hockey assist guy, on the play, where they rotated to him because they knew he was a capable shooter, and then he made an extra pass. So it provides the opportunity to stretch the floor and give your roster and your lineup some flexibility, and that's really, really important.
Who has stepped up into a leadership role this year?
Well, who means you want to name specifically. But if you asked who all or how many, what I'd be really, really proud of and really encouraged to say is that I think it's a collective effort. It's a group thing right now. We've got a lot of guys really working hard, buying into what we're doing, that I feel like there's a collective leadership with this group. I think that the who will emerge. It's still a little early, so we got to go through some adversity. We got to have some bad stuff happen to us. You know, some goofy things are going to happen, or some guys are going to be frustrated, and then we'll see. But I'm really proud of the collective leadership and maturity that the group's had so far.
What do you think the team's mood was like with that big win over Lee Summit on Tuesday?
You could just sense the joy, the happiness, the relief that we took care of home court. We played well against a conference opponent. We're going into break without having a game for 9-10 days on a positive note. And then the other thing is, like, when you get on the other side of one of those and you're winning by a large margin, it just makes you feel like all the work that you've put in is validated. I know it is, even if we're losing a game close, even if we're struggling. I know how hard the guys work and how much I respect what they're doing. But when you're able to get in those situations, I think the guys are able to have some pure joy and relief about everything that they do.
What are you planning to get out of the William Jewell tournament coming up during the break?
I don't know, Nick. I mean, what get out of it in regards to players, team? I mean, anything specific?
I mean, playing time, taking home the trophy, things like that,
Okay.
I guess.
I hope that so this team needs to continue to show progress, right? So I know it's a goofy answer, but this team needs to show progress because we're still so early in the season. Early in the season, we didn't know what we had, who we had to step into what roles, what depth we had. There's offensive system was different. There's a lot of things. So early on, you didn't really have any expectations. People didn't, except internal in our room. Then you go and you play Rock and Poplar Bluff right out of the chute, and you compete, but you don't win. But I think what was important with this group that maybe when I study this more as I get the time, they understood that it was possible for them to compete at a high level. I don't know that they knew that before. Then it gave them some confidence, and then we won against Northeast, and then we scored the ball and won against Park Hill. Then they started to think, okay, maybe we can do this. Then you play a tight baser game that, solid group. Then you have some practice time to get ready and emphasize some things. Then you play against Kearney, and you win, and then you play well and win by a margin. Each time I've seen us improve, and that's what I hope we can continue. If we continue to improve, continue to focus on being the best we can be, we got a chance to win, got a chance to bring home a trophy, which of course is what we want to do. But we'll let those chips fall as long as we continue to improve. So hopefully we're talking about that when we come back, and the success is the byproduct of all those other things that we've done. So our groups have been working hard. Our sophomores got a couple wins leading up to the break, and so they're going to be able to enjoy their break. They're getting better. Our freshmen are going through things where they're just learning how to play at a high level, how to practice at a high level, and the results aren't what they want to, but they're coming, and Coach Hanson, Coach Mason have done a nice job with them, and I'm confident that group's going to get it going when it matters as the season progresses. So I'm excited about what we got going on. I'm excited about the opportunity to give our guys a little break from the routine of the school year, and then just be able to focus and play and hopefully compete at a really high level at Jewell. So when we come back, we've got 3 or 4 more games under our belts, and we'll certainly have a lot more to talk about. But I'm certainly proud of the group so far and hope we can continue going. So enjoy your break. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to everyone, and we'll see you next year, okay? Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Coach.
You bet.